In this video, I'm going to give you my review of the Head Gravity Pro. Now, the Head Gravity Pro, this is a little bit of a different type of racket. It is a control-oriented racket, but it does something a little bit different in order for that to happen. So, unlike most control rackets, which are 98 head sizes, the Head Gravity Pro, this is a 100 head size. You usually don't see that with control rackets. Typically, you see 98, maybe even smaller, 97 like the Pro Staff, or even 95s if you get down to it. But the head size of the Head Gravity Pro, I'll try and make the one a little bit darker so it can be seen. The Head Gravity Pro, the 100 head size, it's a little bit more helpful with power and it's a little bit more helpful with spin. So, by that logic, Head has had to have done something a little bit different with this racket in order for that to actually be a little bit more control oriented when it usually helps with power and spin again. So what they did was, instead of having the traditional 16 by 19 string pattern, which would have made it even more of a power and spin friendly racket, they gave the Gravity Pro, if my marker would work, an 18 by 20 string pattern. Now, the 18 by 20 string pattern, we have 18 mains or strings going up and down and 20 going across. This is going to help give the racket a lot more control compared to the 16 by 19 string pattern. Now, the way that this works is that by having a more dense string pattern, so the strings have less room to move around inside the racket when you're actually playing with them, this decreases the amount of snapback that is put onto the ball, and it also allows the racket to absorb a little bit more of the pace and allow you to redirect or place your shot a little bit better on the other side of the court rather than having the extra help with generating spin and power from the snapback of the string pattern like 16 by 19 or anything that has more space in between each string. So that's where the 18 by 20 comes in the Head Gravity Pro, making it a more helpful or control-oriented racket in general. Now, the Gravity Pro, the reason it has that pro name on it, besides just being used by a few pros like Alexander Zverev, as well as Andrei Rublev, is the fact that this thing is heavy. You have an unstrung weight of about 11, again, my marker is not liking me right now, 11.1 ounces to about 315 grams unstrung. That is insane. Most rackets barely get up to that when they're strung. Usually I'll say the common weight size right now is 11.2 ounces strung, which is right around the 315 gram, but that's with the string inside of it. The Head Gravity Pro is 11.1 or 315 grams without string. So once you actually put the string in there, you're looking at almost or right around 11.7 ounces to either 330 or about 333 in terms of the grams. This stick is a monster. So for those of you who are either new to tennis, you're just starting out, you've been playing for a little bit, but you've never used anything that's near this weight, please, please, please do not just go out and buy the Gravity because you see Sasha playing with it, you see Rublev playing with it, or you see anyone else playing with it, because this is definitely something you need to demo first to make sure that it works for your game, because it is a very, very hard racket to play with in its entirety because of not only the string pattern, but the weight of it as well. Now, if you demo it and you do find that this is going to work a little bit good for you, one thing that I noticed that the Gravity Pro did quite well is not be too hard on the arm. And the reason for that is I've seen some say it was around 62, but more so than not, I've seen the Head Gravity Pro having a 63 in stiffness. So that is going to be just a little bit more arm friendly than some of the other rackets. Now, I won't say it's going to be the most arm-friendly thing. Again, that's why you demo it, just to make sure it works for your games. And that way you're not getting hurt or anything. But it is going to be, from what I found, a little bit easier on the arm. I will say that this is not going to, I will say that some of the other Gravity rackets are probably going to be a little bit better for you. But this one had a lot of nice feel to it, even with the stiffness being a 63, as well as the feel was helped because of how thin this racket is. If you've ever gone very much into the depths of racket technologies and you start looking into a bunch of different things, you'll find that beam width is a very important thing that a lot of players look at when they're just trying to decide what type of racket they want to play with or that they just want to actually demo. The Head Gravity Pro, this is a very, very thin racket. You can see it from the top of the racket here to the middle, all the way to the throat of it. It's not very thick. So this racket is not very powerful. Again, like I mentioned, how this racket isn't very helpful with a lot of things. The beam width is not helping here in terms of the amount of power you get. It is, however, going to make the racket have a lot more feel to it. So you get a better idea of where you're hitting the ball, especially when you're in or outside of the sweet spot, as well as just getting a nice amount of help with control because of that feel. Now, the stiffness rating at 63, this is making the racket bend or flex a little bit more, so it is a little bit easier on the arm, even though it is such a thin beam. So I felt that it was a good combination when I was playing with it. However, it is definitely not going to be for everyone. Please, please, please demo it just to make sure. And then with that, if you are looking to demo and you're like, okay, how much is this going to cost me? Typical retail price on this is about $269, at least that's here in the US. And then at the time of recording this video, there may still be some sales going on because the new version is coming out in January. So, if you've ever wanted to get a Gravity, now may be the time because as of right now, they are on quite a bit of a sale. At the time of recording this, we're right around Black Friday here in 2024. So you're looking at about, I think these are $169 on sale right now. So if you got the ability to demo this racket, if you like it, go for it. If not, don't go for this. It's very hard to use. But if you're someone who can do it, more power to you. So with that being said, biggest thing I would say I noticed on court, besides just the interesting thing about the flex and stiffness that I mentioned with the actual combination of the string pattern and the thinner beam compared to most other rackets, is the fact that the Head Gravity Pro, this was something that I didn't necessarily think I was going to like because of that weird combination of how heavy it was, the head size and the 18x20 string pattern. But I felt it was a pretty good combination, at least for me specifically. I tend to prefer bigger head sizes. I've recently started using a little bit more of the smaller head sizes around a 98, but I still like going back to my 100. I was previously using a Head Speed Pro for a while. It was an old version of it, but the Head Gravity Pro, it did well for me. I don't think I would necessarily switch to it myself, even though it was a very fun play test. You had great control. You could really place your shot in terms of where you wanted to go. That's most likely where the ball was going. I would say the extra weight made it feel very stable on court, and especially if you're going against someone that's hitting a lot more pace at you, this is going to help you rather than have that weird little twist that you probably feel if you ever want to go hit a ball that had so much power on it and it went, we don't like that. But the Gravity Pro, with the extra weight that it has compared to most other rackets, very stable, very easy to plow through with, just not very powerful on its own because, again, of that thinner beam and the more dense string pattern. So if you can generate your own power, you can generate your own spin, you just need something helping you to control the ball and place it better, then the Gravity Pro may be one to demo. If not, maybe skip this one out. Check out some of the other rackets in the Gravity line, like the Gravity MP. That one is a lot more player friendly and just a lot easier to use for pretty much everyone. So with that being said, if you like the video, leave a like on it. Comment down below if you've used the Gravity Pro or anything else that you may know about it that you're wanting to share. We are trying to just get the information out there from the people that have it to the people that need it because we want to make sure none of us are getting hurt from playing with our gear because that is not fun and we do not need to be injured. No hospital visits, no injuries, no medical bills, nothing. So with that being said, if you like the video, leave a like on it. Comment down below any more questions you have or any thoughts on the Gravity Pro. If you've tried it, let me know what you thought about it, as well as subscribe to the channel so that we can grow the channel. And as I said, get the information out there from the people that have it to the people that need it. There's a lot of tennis misinformation in the tennis community, so I took it upon myself to make this channel so that we can get rid of that and enjoy the game of tennis we all love so much more with our gear without having to worry about injury. So, As always, take care.